Hello world, welcome to a Champions Online guide. Today we're going to look at the Soldier, a ranged damage dealer that is completely glass cannon. The whole mentality is that you kill everything before it kills you. And it's also the archetype that I used to Frosty tank when I was getting Justice Gear tokens. For leveling, it's pretty much all about the assault rifle and submachine gun. Rank 2 plus mow 'em down is better than rank 3, unless you're going to tap spam assault rifle, which I guess you could. Submachine gun burst was my main area of attack, but I never bothered putting points into it because I knew I was going to replace it with Gatling gun at level 35. Shotgun is fun, but I don't use it as a main attack, I use it as a utility power. With breaching rounds, you are guaranteed to knock everything, as long as it's not knock resistant. And then nailed to the ground is nice to make sure that when you blast things in the air, they don't just fly, they actually fall back to the ground. You can actually juggle enemies with shotgun blast at least once, if not twice, depending on if they already have stacks of knockback resistance or not. And while they're in the air, you can switch to assault rifle and run after them while you're blasting them down the road. It's pretty entertaining. I'm sure the melee characters that you are blasting enemies away from will not be thrilled, but if they had aggro, then you wouldn't be shotgun blasting things in the face to get them away from you in the first place. So, well, that's the way it goes. I do recommend a flight power. Assault rifle is 100 feet. If you go with Gatling gun, it's also 100 feet. And you know what? You might as well take advantage of your range by flying above everything. So many mobs are incredibly stupid and have absolutely no way to deal with your 100-foot range attacks. And considering this is a super squishy archetype, you want every advantage you can get. You have no healing and no aggro wipes. So flying above everyone's head is pretty much your only line of defense other than, killing them before they kill you. I'm not gonna lie, I was super lazy with my gear. I had armadillo secondaries for leveling and I kept them once I got to 40. I didn't even bother replacing them, they're still there. You could try the samurai secondaries, but honestly the boost is not worth it. I think it gave me like an extra 10 whole points on my Gatling gun damage. It's like, oh wow. That's totally not worth it. That wouldn't even be 100 points a second. Like, no thanks. Armadillo secondaries are pretty much my only defense, since I decided to go full glass cannon, and the samurai secondaries just aren't worth it. Purple secondaries would probably be your best bet, because then you can control your stats a lot better, or, well, get things that aren't just a whole bunch of stats. Cost discount is probably most beneficial, so that you could stay out of range and never have to worry about using your energy builder, because you'll have tons and tons of energy. You really don't need as much recovery as I have, but well, I was lazy. Armadillo secondaries, and that's what they're gonna stay as. Since this is probably one of the few archetypes I still play, even though I have freeforms, I just went with heroics and actually put some rank 7 mods into them. I would of course go with cost discount over cooldown reduction with the build I have. You could choose to focus on assault rifle. I went with Gatling gun. If you go assault rifle, you can go shotgun blast still, or you can go with frag grenade. Both of them are great utility powers that knock things away from you so they don't kill you. But you don't necessarily need Gatling gun. You could go assault rifle and submachine gun burst. So you could instead choose to have rocket as a little spike attack. The cooldowns aren't too terrible for frag grenade and rocket, even after the cooldown reduction nerf, but I prefer Gatling gun. Since the character I'm using that is level 40 is a female, the assault rifle stock clips horrifically through her arm. So if you have an assault rifle and it actually has a stock on it, it will just clip through the entire arm and it looks terrible, so I go with Gatling gun. And plus it just does more damage with my build-up anyway, so. You don't really need the extra crit, or you don't need the severity though either, so. Either piece of gear would be fine if you're just going with heroics. Doesn't matter. I would, however, go with an offense mod instead of more crit or pretty much anything else. I mean, there's not a whole lot that's going to benefit you. You don't have a self-heal, so there's no point in getting bonus healing. But an offense mod will be totally fine. And it also gives you a tiny bit more defense from the spec trees. Not terribly important. For some reason, I put a Veteran's Core of Might in my utility gear. I have no idea why, because it's kind of a icky choice. And cost discount would have been better, even though I did tweak the build a little bit so that it has 400 ego instead of slightly lower, which is, I would recommend going with 400 ego. It's just amazing. You have tons of energy. I sat there out of range of my energy builder and just used Gatling gun for a couple minutes, and I did not run out of energy. And then I tried the same thing with sniper rifle, and I didn't run out of energy. 400 ego, what does it give you? It gives you 50 energy every 4 seconds from concentration. It gives you 58 energy every 4 seconds from killer instinct. So that's like over 100 energy every 4 seconds just from those two. Plus, the ego tree has a cost discount that scales with ego, which will be about 40% with 400 ego, which is just amazing. And if you have cooldown or cost discount gear, I mean, you'd probably be pretty close to 50% cost discount on all of your powers, which is just completely awesome if you want to never have to be within 50 feet to use your energy builder. And you probably don't want to be, because your range is your biggest asset. There may be energy issues in long fights. Before I tweaked build, I did have a little bit of energy issues with the Mega Destroid fights for the anniversary event, but it wasn't that bad. I never bothered getting within 50 feet for them. Because I use Gatling gun, sometimes if I saw my energy was getting low, I would switch to assault rifle, which is cheaper, and wait for a crit to kick in. But normally it doesn't matter. I mean, Gatling gun gives me a wall of crits. It's hilarious and super awesome. For masteries, well, Vindicator and Avenger masteries are both completely worthless for you, so Ego Mastery it is. And then Avenger Mastery is for blasts, which doesn't work with Shotgun Blast anyway, so no point. I chose to focus on offense, so I didn't take Force of Will. You could if you really wanted to. I prefer the glass cannon route. I picked the soldier specifically to do like all the damage I possibly could. Pros for this build: you do a lot of damage. Lots and lots and lots of damage. When I was going through the Mega Destroid event, I often could get in the top 10, unless I died a few times, and it was usually, most of the time it was at least in the top 20, if not the top 10. Having 100-foot powers or more can keep you safe from a lot of damage. There's a lot of things that you won't have to worry about. In something like Gravitar, you can sit there and use sniper rifle and be at 120 feet and will probably never ever get hit by a single attack, and the only thing you'll have to worry about is the gravity well. That's pretty much it. I mean, you are safe, which is great because I have absolutely no constitution in this build at all. It's a super glass cannon, so that works out. A lot of mobs don't have attacks outside of 50 feet, so if you're flying above them at greater than 50 feet, there's nothing they can do about it. It's actually fairly rare for a mob to have an attack that's over 100 feet, but it does happen. Sniper rifle at exactly 120 feet can tank Frosty, but you have to be pretty much at 120 feet. However, you cannot tank Blaze because she will hit you even at 120 feet. And she'll probably kill you, especially if you go the glass cannon route that I did. It'll kill you in like 2 hits, maybe even 1. I pretty much have no energy issues. After I tweaked my build to have 400 ego, I like never had problems. It was amazing. Like, wow, I can use Gatling gun and sniper rifle all day and not have energy issues. There might be some, a little bit, for, like, if you take it into Gravitar, you might have some energy issues, but I don't think so. It has an energy unlock that works with its set. Quite a few sets do not have their own And the soldier does, and the munition set does. Killer Instinct is great. It's perfect. It scales with Ego, which you have as your main super stat. Concentration also scales with Ego, which is your main super stat. They're like perfect for each other. The choices aren't actually terrible. Shotgun Blast and Frag Grenade are both good choices. Frag Grenade, of course, has a longer cooldown, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But they both are great utility powers that knock things the hell away from you, especially if you have 400 Ego. They're going to knock things way far, which is great, because that means they're not killing you, and they're flying in the air instead of beating your face in. And Rocket is pretty good power, too, if you don't want to go with Gatling Gun. It's a nice little spike. It's not, like, amazing. It's not like the high-level DPS kind of, or spikes or anything. It's not like Strafing Run, kind of craziness, but it's still not a bad choice. Cons for this build: you have no self-healing. I know it's a problem with like pretty much every archetype, but there's nothing, not even Stim Pack and Holdout Shot, which would have been really nice for this build. It would still be in theme even, but no, you don't have that. And of course, this is still a very squishy archetype, especially if you don't bother investing in Constitution. Smoke Grenade, pretty sure, I don't even know if it does anything, honestly. Escape Artist is not an aggro wipe. If you attack something after you throw an Escape Artist grenade, it's still gonna and you had aggro before, you're still gonna have aggro. You can sit there and wait the 10 seconds or however long it takes for the enemy to be like, oh hey, hi, you're still there, well I'm gonna attack you again. So that doesn't help you. And ranking it up to rank 3, I'm not sure if it does anything anymore. It used to be that if you had rank 3 smoke grenades, you could throw them at Warlord and he would just not do anything at all. And I think he messed up Gravitar's AI in a similar fashion, but that was supposed to be fixed, so I don't think it does that anymore. And of course, Smoke Grenade, the perception debuff only works while they are in the cloud, and most things are not going to just sit there in a cloud of smoke grenades. Some enemies don't move ever, but most of them will move out of the way. They kind of, characters, like the NPCs kind of go everywhere, so it's not, I'm not sure how helpful Smoke Grenade will actually be. I know it's not necessarily a fault of the soldier, but the assault rifle stock clipping horribly with the female models just drives me insane. I hate it so much. But you don't really have a choice when you're leveling. And if you don't have a skin that removes the rifle butt, then you kind of just have to deal with it. Or you have, I'm pretty sure it does not affect the male models. It's only the female models that have this horrible, horrible, horrible clipping through assault rifle. And sniper rifle also looks weird. On the female characters, the butt of the rifle is above the shoulder instead of against the shoulder, which just looks weird, but it's not as horrible as, you know, being through the arm, which is what assault rifle does. Shotgun has some kind of weird bugs with it. It's supposed to be a click power. At rank 1, it's a click power. You click it and it shoots things and they go flying. But if you have rank 2, sometimes it turns into a charge power, which is weird because it's not supposed to be a charge power. I think you have to have rank 2 and breaching rounds. I'm not sure, but that's just, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a click power. It was always a click power before, so I don't know when it changed, but it's just weird. Even though shotgun is a blast, it does not benefit at all from any of the blast specs because it's a click power, or at least it's supposed to be. And almost all of the blast specs are for charge powers. Do you like doing damage? Do you like being out of range of almost everything? Do you like to giggle at the NPCs who can't touch you when you're shooting them in the face with endless bullets? Do you like guns and shooting bad people in games? Well, you probably like the soldier, because that's what it does. It's very glassy. You can, of course, throw some Constitution mods in there to give you a little bit of extra health, but it's pretty much meant to do lots and lots and lots of damage and hopefully kill things before they kill you. Or, you know, rely on a decent tank. But of course, with sniper rifle, you can pretty much stay out of range of just about everything.